Okay. Do I need? You know what? Do that. Do I need?
There you go.
Is that light good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fixing itself. All right, bet.
I think it's good.
I hate that. Oh, yeah. Do this like this. What's up, y'all? Strictly. Okay, so I'm away from my 2 minute.
Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all had a good
What's today? Saturday.
Saturday, right? Hope y'all had a good week, safe week. You know how I do. Go outside, observe. Is watchers, listeners, and observers, and then I come back and report.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that for you. I'm just waiting for some more time. We ain't at 2 minutes yet, so I'm gonna just wait. But in the meantime,
In the
um,
meantime.
this week, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the current events, but this was like bodies dropping, more bodies dropping, more bodies dropping, and then more bodies dropping, and then on top of that, we got this Mr. Ass over here
Mm-hmm.
contradicting itself every friggin' 5 minutes. Nobody don't know what to do. Now you gotta get 10 shots now and shit.
Watch it.
So
Why is your body mutating so much?
I'm telling you, it is. So oh, I didn't even tell. You know what? I was too far. I didn't even tell them I was. Oh, you know what? I'll wait till we get. All right, 2 minutes. Shit, goddamn. I'm gonna. So before I put it in the chat, I'm gonna let you guys know because I know y'all gonna see it when it play back. And we'll re-announce it as we go into the lesson. This is gonna be a different. I'm telling you right now. This announcement is gonna change everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last strictly explicit truth. This is not the last time I'm doing a show. But what we're doing is me and Better Minds, me and my wife Empress Trini, and Shifu Drew, we combined it long overdue. We have a new channel called Open Minds. And there, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't have a metaphysical mind, if you're not open-minded, if you're not like-minded, if you're not open to consciousness, if you're not open into spirituality, I'm not talking religion, I'm telling you right now, if you are touchy-feely, if you are not open-minded to any of the things that we are going to get into starting from today, the second half, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't come on that channel.
Please don't. Feelings will be hurt.
If
It's a no judgment zone, but you have to have an open mind.
if you have a strong belief in the system, but you're also open-minded, then welcome. If you are quick to judge and quick to anger, do not come aboard.
But you can come to Better Minds and I can help you with your anger issues.
Affirmative, no, seriously. So, by us doing Open Minds podcast, it kind of gets us into talking about the things we want to talk about that we always
Talk amongst ourselves.
Bruce ain't even see Bruce, you guys. And then Ali up, y'all ain't even see the joke. It's making y'all know it's right there. It's right there. Right there. Yeah, so, and we'll have fun with it. We'll have fun with it, but it's all if you don't want to hear truth, if you don't want to hear fact, this is not about your opinion. There is other channels that's going to take you through the ABCs of what we're talking about. You can go there. We're not here to do that. We're going to give it to you exactly how it is. We're going to break it down to you, and we're going to show you examples. If you don't like it, that's fine. It just proves that you have something to deal with. So, my question, because we was talking about this earlier. My question is, you were saying there's a lot of moods and attitudes, difference in attitudes, and
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
Well, before I go deep into it,
Okay.
in my own opinion, with restrictions, people don't know how to deal with having less than or being told that they cannot. You know, some people can't deal with the word no. Some people can't fathom the fact that they can't go into places without having to show who they are and what they got. People not used to that. All of that is bringing a what I want to say, like an enclosed dome over people. And it's starting, and because that dome is closed over people, where's that negative energy exiting at? It's not. It's transferring to everybody. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, 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 bing. That's why we're in the world of chaos, because we covered up in this dome and we're not being open. We're not exiting that type of energy like we're supposed to. And with all that comes a lot of things. So, you know, people have their own situations, their own personal situations, their own professional situations, you know, and according to statistics, therapists is booked up as to the bone.
They own goddamn issues
so if everybody can't get to somebody they need help or talk to, what that leaves those people, what that leaves them to do that don't know what to do or don't have nobody to lead them in a way.
Well, why do you think that is? Like, why do they like not release it where it needs to go? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that frustrated person just like has an issue of either addressing it with themselves or addressing it with the person that actually did it, or the persons for that matter?
Why would they have an issue?
No, why wouldn't they address it? Why would they release their anger outwardly? I mean, no, transfer it to someone outwardly that they don't know versus dealing with what the actual cause was.
Okay, so like we know, that's dealing with a denied will.
Now, when you say denied will, you talking about the spirit of it or the will of it? So I fucked y'all up right there.
Okay, so well, the spirit of it is what's going to manifest the will. It's almost
Y'all
like
heard that shit?
It's almost like something I said on my podcast. It's almost like
Better Mindz interrupted.
It's almost like thought left right there. Hold on, y'all.
My fault. See, I beat it. Don't beat me up sometimes. She beat me up sometimes because when she be in the thought and I'll say something, it's like, Stop. Get back. My fault. My fault.
See, I feel like Chicken Little. What was that?
We were talking about, I asked you, will and being spirit, or will and being will itself.
Right. Okay. So it's like the mind, you got your mind, body, and soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what your mind is.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. It's there. It's physical. It's there. And you know your soul is just the essence of your desires.
Okay. Okay.
Your passions.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your wants, your needs. That's your soul.
Mm-hmm.
But the spirit is what breathes life into a physical body that you host, right? So with the will, the denied will, would you say that? What was your question again?
Is it the spirit of the will,
or the
will itself?
Or the will itself. So with that explanation, the spirit being what breathes the life into the soul, which is the will, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Y'all with me, family?
I'm with you.
All right. I don't think I need to go any further.
Nah, but I got, so the reason. So we're talking about denial spirits.
Right.
There is a reason, though.
There is a reason.
What you not, all these times, all these shows we've been doing, there's a reason why we have repetitively have been using this word, denial spirits, denied will. Those two in particular, it's we not just saying, it's not just saying that so we meditate and hum and kumbaya. No, there is a deeper, more secretive reason on why these two things we constantly bring up.
Yeah.
Do you understand? When you bring this, when you talking about, listen now, I listen. When you're dealing with denial spirits, I'll give you a simple example. You move in an area, right? Okay. You're different from that. It's an area you're not used to. You're used to deep city life, and you come into a more suburban area. All right? You move in, and someone comes along as you moving in, and they're like, well, you know, we do things like this around here, we do that around here. And you, in your mindset, you follow suit. You followed suit. Instead of you continuing to be the person you were, no, you went along to get along because you felt like how the person approached you. It's more like it was a passive aggressive sense, and how they approached you made you feel as though you had to do this in order to mentally survive. God damn, son. So now you caught up in that. It is deeper than that's just a small example. This show gonna get so deep.
It gets deep.
So you went and you fell in suit with that, just as though like when they tell you when you go to schools before you enroll your kid in school, they have to have all their shots, right? All their immunization and all of that shot. Because you were told it is for their safety. Now, listen, let me show you how denial spirit work. That whole summer went past when they was home with you. You not taking them to the doctor not once. They had to get no shot, not once. Not once. They've been around the same people as they were last year in school. Most of the kids live in the same neighborhood. You went ahead because in order for you to enter into this building and be around the same kids that you're always around, and you have to have your immunization and you know how to school. Same thing with jobs. Yeah, like your resume is good and you have the experience and stuff. Still got to do a background check and stuff. Now, I'm not opposed to background. I'm using it as an example. All right. I'm showing you something. I'm not saying you're supposed to hire anybody, yes, because you know that's not what I'm saying. So don't be a jerk. So you do that, right? And then they got to do a background check. Even when they know the person, they have to go through a background check. After the background check, you got to go through a urinalysis. Now, I don't know what me pissing in a damn cup got to do with me performing my job. If I'm at work and I'm clocked in and I'm sitting here at this desk or whatever I'm doing, or if I'm in the warehouse or whatever, how does my pee count?
I don't know.
But by you accepting it and doing it and say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do it, you denied yourself. You put your will down. You had the free will or the willpower to be like, well, hold on, this don't seem right. See, if everybody took the course and learned to analyze themselves and be like, well, this particular thing right here aggravates me when I do it, then you know that is your denied. So what do you think? What do you think? What is your take?
On the denied will?
On the denial spirit.
That's basically what it is. You denied yourself instead of you angry. Something ain't going your way or things haven't been going your way. You're angry. Okay. So how you expressing it? Are you keeping that anger bottled up and just going out into the world and just taking it out and being a damn ass to everybody you come in contact with? You know what I'm saying? If that's exactly the take that you're going, then why are you denying that you gotta let some of that anger out? And that all you gotta do is go in the room some damn way and scream or some shit. Go to a gym, go hit a back, go do something. Let the anger out. Do not hold it in.
They use sex and drugs to ignore their will. And this is what I mean. You have male whores and female whores. Because don't think a man is not a whore at all. You have men out here that have like 3, 4 baby moms, 5 baby moms. It's like a whole bunch. Y'all see them? Whether you know someone like that or you see it on TV. And in that, there is greed and denial in that shit too, because it's like, what possessed you? Or what went wrong in your life? What gapped rage went on with you that you felt the need to not do it with one woman, but more than one, and produce a child to only end up being alone again? And then you make jokes and you think it's funny and it's cool to just be laying up with somebody and having babies, and end up same thing. If a woman is laying up with a dude and she want him to knock her up, it's vice versa. But what are you doing it for? Just like a person who's attached to being on welfare when they know they have the means to get off of it, but you just like
don't want to grow.
All that shit pertain to denial. Yeah. All that shit. Whether you hustling, whether you hustling out there, whether you out there trying to slay everything down, whether you trying to rob, whether you trying to hold down 3 jobs, all of these denials take place in every factor of your life. Y'all think y'all just sitting, standing on the corner, hustling and waiting to sell the next grills and shit like that, and then you all frustrated and angry. You don't even know why you're aggressive. You don't even know why you got a gun on your waist. Y'all niggas is funny. You don't even know why you have a gun on your waist, but something that you don't want to address about you got you holding heat. Come on, it's deep. Dude, we ain't even begin yet.
It is D-E-E-P. D.
It's the real.
Y'all gotta let it go. Sometimes I gotta just release. You have to release. So
yes, because I was about to chew y'all up real quick. She kind of saved. She does that a lot, man. So many lives have been saved because of this woman. Oh my goodness, man.
okay, so I'm gonna read something, and we're just gonna have a discussion. Check this out. Okay. So first, I'm reading from the original cause.
2.
All right. And the title of that is The Reflection Lost Will Has to Give. So we're on denial spirits. We're going to go deeper into it. That's why I didn't want to go too deep into it, because it's going to be addressed here in deeper understanding or overstanding. Okay. Denial spirits. Since we were maintaining our image by denying all the things I have been bringing forward now, we were empowering denial spirits to live by denying lost will, essence into them without realizing it. These were the spirits that were having trouble enough to need almost constant help from us. Later, all the spirits is following our example began manifesting denial spirits of their own, and these denial spirits also began coming forward in need of help. The more we denied, the more denial spirits there were, until we felt overwhelmed by the troubles they brought us. Since these spirits look so much like the rest of the spirits, we did not realize that we had any such thing as denial spirits. These spirits were the ones who from the beginning had trouble with their forms, trouble finding their right place, trouble aligning with orders of spirits to which it appeared they should belong, trouble receiving light and holding it, trouble maintaining themselves, and trouble understanding us. These spirits did not seem to follow along the evolutionary path of the others, and indeed seemed to try to hold back the rest of the spirits with their lack of ability to grow and progress.
I got an example. I know they hear me.
They hear you.
I'm coming back to the chair. I got an example. Everything she said, I got an example. Because here we're transitioning to open minds. So I got an example. Check this out. When me and you was going through stuff, I kept everybody out of it. We don't have to name names.
Right.
But I kept them out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't know my business, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the same breath though, I didn't run from when we was having our problems.
Right.
They ain't call. They didn't check up. Not on you, kid. None of that. None of that. But we faced it together without anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we would have not addressed it, so what I'm saying is if we would have not addressed it, the denial would have been we would have continued being around each other pretending everything was cool.
Right.
Wake the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Address things. I just wanted to get just go ahead.
So, and with added on to what he said, camelbacking, we wouldn't have been able to grow. We would probably wouldn't be right here right now. We wouldn't be at this place right now.
Most of y'all ain't even there. Most of y'all ain't even there. A lot of y'all like before you. I know you're setting up for the next one, but a lot of y'all just going to the bar every day is running away from something. Going to hang out before you go home. I'm not talking. See, here's the thing. I'm not talking about your female time or your guy time. That is not. That you know exactly what I'm speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you always got to do something extra before you go home, something is wrong. I'm not saying something is wrong with you or who you with. It could be a number of things that is wrongs within the whole circle that is around you. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That is making you have to have outlets that will lead to addiction.
Yeah.
Because you know she got to help me some.
That was a perfect description. Ain't nothing retarded about that brain.
What? Y'all know what I'm saying. Shut up. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so with all the trouble that these spirits was having, this had a maddening, I'm sorry. I'm so tongue-tied. Effect on all of us, and we did not allow this rage to move. Remember that dome I was talking about earlier? It's just ricocheting off of everybody. They ain't had no room to move or do anything. Instead, we try even harder to help them and preach about love, needing to be tolerant and patient of the differences among us. That's where that no judgment come in. We have to stop being judgmental. Yes, thing. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the shit that piss you off. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about literally being judgmental. And you know what I mean. So we were not admitting there were differences among us that we love and differences among us that we did not love. This rage has to move, even though understanding is that we are going to get rid of these spirits, but not their essence. When we reclaim this essence, denial cannot live.
Go back to that sentence right there.
Now, what is essence? I'm going to go back.
Go back to that. Y'all heard that?
Let's do this question. What is essence? Now I'm going to go back to this.
All right.
Okay. So, we were not admitting that there were differences among us that we love and differences among us that we did not love. This rage has to move, even though understanding is that we are going to get rid of these spirits, but not their essence. When we reclaim this essence, denial cannot live.
Son, daughters, listen. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, so you know, I'm gonna have to son and daughter. Yo, but you know when we be like son, it's like the eureka moment happened. It said the denial would die, not the essence. You know what the essence is?
What is the essence?
What makes you is your essence.
That's that will.
This in here, the will and the self, that's your essence. The essence of you can never fade. But you see, you got to remember, denial is something that likes to attaches itself to something natural, because when something negative comes around something natural, it's only there to infiltrate it, manipulate it, give illusions, give wrong perceptions, you understand? False teachings, all right? And when these things happen, it begins to have guilt.
Right.
And I told y'all about that shit already. Trust me, this is not only about these words. You ain't got no idea where this show is going. I was trying to get the Instagram live on. You can get it on here.
They don't let you do it on the computer.
It don't let you do it. I was trying to get one of them to get the thing. It's like, because we gonna go deep. All of this is leading up to something.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know why this whole fucking world is the way it is right now? Do you want to know why? For those who already know, fine. Glad you're here. Those who don't, hang on to your seat and strap in.
Please do.
Go ahead. I'm gonna break it
Please
up.
do.
Ain't gonna break
Okay,
it
so
up.
this what we're about to go into what he was just talking about, literally. So only when the mother could no longer stand all the denied rage around this would she dare reflect it back by raging briefly about not loving these spirits, hating them in fact, and wishing they were gone. As soon as she had left, as soon as she had let off enough steam to be able to put the lid back on, guilt would shut her down by saying that she hadn't liked it when I had tried to get rid of her, and it was no more loving of her to want to get rid of these troublesome spirits than she felt it had been of me to want to get rid of her. The mother knew we thought she was troublesome, and she knew how much fear she had of being thrown out into the darkness. She felt ashamed of her feelings and even feared that she was just like these spirits. Anyway, guilt would say if a vote were taken,
Who
you'd be
said
the
it?
one to go.
Wait, who said it?
Guilt.
Who said that shit?
Guilt.
Go on.
All right.
Mm.
So the mother shrank in fear. Then this would be her punishment for her unlovingness, and her desire to get rid of these spirits shrank into more efforts than ever to help them.
Yo, do you hear how powerful guilt is when it comes up into your mind? You hear that shit?
It's powerful.
So it's like, okay, you're going for a job you know you're gonna get,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
The first thing you say, I don't know, as if they even hire me. You allowed guilt to come into your mind for you to say, well, oh, if they hire me, I don't know if they're gonna take me. You know you're gonna get the job. You have it. You know you're gonna get the job. Now, guilt came in, took over. You ain't got shit.
Mm-mm.
Or not, you don't have it. You messed up your chances. Something you said wrong. Something you did wrong. Probably was late. All because of that guilt. Let's do something that's real. Okay? You have single parents. They're not together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Here's the guilt. Both parents feel like when the child is over there or the child has to go by the other parent, both parents are feeling like that one parent is more better than the other parent because the child is probably saying they want to go over to the other parent more than the other one. So now that parent the guilt comes on that parent when you can use your common sense and realize whatever parent is more attentive to the child, of course that child is going to want to go. It has nothing to do with being your favorite. Get out of the guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Guilt ain't got no place in this house, yo.
Right.
Guilt is a spirit. It is not a word, okay? It is more than just energy. That shit is real. When it implements your mind and y'all act stupid like you don't hear your mind talking to yourself, you want to try to ignore that. That also is a form of denial.
Yes.
You can't do that. Stop denying the fact that your conscience constantly talks to you in your head like, let me do that. Let me do that. Come on, man.
Right.
The more you run from your own self, the more you're going to be stuck with the rest of these dumb fucks. Material gain. Material gain is not the purpose of being here. Go ahead. I forget that again.
That is true. That's when you start to lose yourself if you're only here on this planet for material gain. The most successful person is not successful through materials. The mother had these fits of rage when she felt exhausted and overwhelmed by the increasing number of spirits needing help. Their needs were pressing upon her and making her feel like she had no time or space for herself or her relationship with us. She hesitated to think that parenting was meant to be this way, and yet she could not help but recall that she had these dismissal pictures from the beginning. She wanted to feel that she had a premonition of our problems, but guilt made her feel that she had caused them by foreseeing
again. Guilt did it. Now what?
Guilt
Listen,
made
what
you
Empress
blame
Trini?
yourself.
What Empress Trini just read? That doesn't sound like some households right now. That doesn't sound like something children or adults might still have against their parents, or how they was raised, or how their parents look at them. Trust me, we ain't even started yet. I told you, I'm at work. I ain't in denial, and I don't let guilt. Like and I will teach y'all. We will teach you guys on how to get rid of that shit. Trust me. Dude, come in. He go to another dude. I know. I'm not saying nobody's name because I got respect. Dude, come in because he ain't allowed to go in the back. Because you don't do nothing. You're rude. You're disrespectful. Okay? And you're constantly like that for a person who is older. But he has no responsibilities. No children, no woman. There's no responsibility in this person's life. So while the customers are in there, you get rude with the boss. And you say something slick about me. Guys, let me tell you something about me. I don't take offense with I don't. I'm just saying I'm a true spiritual warrior to the fullest. To the fullest, he can tell you. 130,000%. Say 30,000. 200,000%.
Well, it's more than 100, so
we can make it 1,000,000%. You can play with those numbers. So speaking in code, 1,000,000%. Like I'm telling you right. I have my balance. I know when to bring him out, and I know when to not bring him out. But I don't deny him. Mm-hmm. I don't deny neither of myself. Neither the will, neither the self. I do not deny it. So I went to boss man. I said, yo, what happened? What did he tell you, Slick? Because he got slick and he pointed in his face. Like, I'm sick of you or whatever. So I'm like, I am a person, if you call yourself a grown man or an adult, forget being a man or a woman, forget the gender. If you call yourself an adult, don't speak indirectly about someone. Please bring it to them. Because when you do, that's still denial. And then you allow guilt to come on because now you felt salty because instead of somebody being on your side, you found out you was wrong in the first place. Because I'm telling you right now, if anything would have came addressed to me, it would have been a different story. Because not only would I address that, I would have stood there and say, what are we doing now? And this is the mindset you have to have. I'm not talking confrontation. Now I'm talking mindset. If you want to defeat your own self, you need to have the mindset, I'm standing firm. What's up? You know how you will step to a person in a fight? You have to step to your own self. Yo, what the fuck going on with you? You got all these fucking thoughts. You're angry here. You're angry over there. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go in the mirror. You acting like you can't communicate with yourself. You're a dumbass. You're supposed to communicate with yourself. How else are you supposed to know yourself? Self and will are necessary. Self is masculine, will is feminine. Father, mother. Y'all dumbasses come in with the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It's not. It's Father, Mother of all, and the Father of all. One in a tree, and three in a one. Go ahead.
So you expected them, guilt told her. And now, here they are. The mother shrugged in fear of what her feelings might create. The father of manifestation had not approached the cause of these problems either. When he had awareness of new spirits showing up, he questioned the other spirits. The spirits usually answer his questions by saying that they didn't know where these spirits had come from, or by saying that they were growing up and learning to emerge spirits just like us. Both of these answers gravely concerned us, but we could not stop it from happening because we did not know what was causing it. There was also enough guilt in us about our role that we did not want to come forward and say that it was not right for the manifested spirits to be emerging spirits. We weren't sure.
Whoa. Read that again.
There was also enough guilt in us about our role that we did not want to come forward and say that it was not right for the manifested spirits to be emergent spirits.
Why would guilt tell them that? Why would guilt tell you that it is wrong for you to elevate yourself in the way you have been doing? Why would guilt tell you? Go ahead and finish. We're going to come back to that question. Go ahead. We're going to come back to that.
Okay. We weren't sure if the manifested spirits were just like us or not. Judgment. We had our own fears. Judgment again. About what was creating these spirits. We wonder if these spirits had been too close to the beginning or the end of their orders when we were not fully focused, or if they had been too smashed in the middle because of too much intensity of light. Overthinking. We even wondered if the nature of batches was to have some bad ones.
I gotta get up.
We were full of fears and worries and almost no answers. So that right there, guilt makes you overthink. Guilt makes you have fear. Guilt make you manifest thoughts that don't make sense or is not a part of reality. Guilt does a lot, don't it?
Overthink. And what was my question? Guilt, because the guilt did it a second. Okay, hold on. Go on. Because I come in for you. Hold on.
Okay, so we all have moments of feeling that our creative powers were as much as a curse as they were a blessing, because we did not know how to control them.
Mm-hmm.
When we felt this, it wasn't long before we were feeling that we had used our powers wrongly by not learning more about them first. Guilt continually nagged us that we were responsible for everything that was wrong, and so it was not right for us to take credit for what was right. When we could no longer stand the nagging of guilt, we tried to shift it into blaming others.
Whoa, that's another one.
Guilt continually nagged us that we were responsible for everything that was wrong. And so it was not right for us to take credit for what was right. When we could no longer stand the nagging of guilt, we tried to shift it into blaming others. None of this got at the cause of the problem, and so we didn't find the healing we sought to accomplish on the spirits.
Now, why would guilt think it is bad to manifest? This paint, y'all, it ain't food or nothing. This paint. You know, y'all be weird. I mean, what the hell he was doing on that paper? Ain't no damn paint. So, I ain't no damn paper, Drew. What the hell is that? Trinity, tell me what that shit is. What that shit is. Why would guilt think it's bad to manifest? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. You wake up, you walk out the door, You got to go to the grocery store. Then you got to go to the grocery store. You got to hit up the dollar store. Then after you hit up the dollar store, you got to put gas in the car because you don't want to do it in the morning. You understand what I'm saying? See what I mean? You don't want to do it in the morning. You want to be able to just get up and go to work, right? But as you step out the house and you're in the grocery store now, here come the guilt. I'll buy this and I want to buy that, but this price is... Now you're having guilt with the pricing. This one, I told you it's as simple as that. Guilt is a spirit. It is a energy. It is real. Okay, all right, well then let me grab these and put these here. All right, and then, all right, do I want to go to the dollar store now, or do I want to pick up and go to the gas station and then come? Why are you doing that? What? You already know you have to do all three, no matter what. It doesn't matter what order you do them in, because I have this issue too. I have that OCD with me too. It ain't a boy ADHD for real, but I got to do that. And when I do that, it calms my brain. All right, dude, what the fuck? Calm down. You got to do all three anyway. It doesn't matter what order you do them in, and it doesn't matter how fast you do it, because all three have to be done. You need to realize you got to go to work. You're going to be at work. You have to deal with the kids. They're going to get on your nerves. But if you allow guilt to come in and make you feel like it is something wrong on the way you are, the way you are manifesting the time on what you need to do, then you allow that shit to control you. Now something is wrong. Now you're going to start to see a spiral in your thinking.
Yeah, you're going to keep digging in that rabbit hole.
After this chapter, we're going into, ooh, boy. Go on. What's the next one?
Denied blame and self-sacrifice widen the gap between spirit, heart, and will.
Whoa!
Body.
Look. Spirit.
Heart and will.
Heart is an entity.
Heart
it's
and
not
will.
Just something in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Will and body. Go on.
Okay, so the mother of everything and the father of manifestation both felt overworked and exhausted. They were not feeling good in themselves, and still they pressured themselves to go on trying to help those in need.
Right.
Will and body feared that the spirit's problems was a result of the imbalancing within us. The fear and guilt they felt.
Hold on. No, go ahead. School them. No, school them. School them.
The fear and guilt they felt that we might have created without being qualified made them work much harder trying to help the spirits than they would have otherwise. The mother and the father of manifestation were angry at me for going back to heaven, as those spirits' problems were not my fault, and leaving them out in manifestation to do all of the healing work. They had blame for me because they felt that it was my absence that was the cause of their problems and the problems of all the spirits. I have a question. Why do people always put their problems on others?
Stupid.
They had blame for me because they felt that it was my absence that was the cause of their problems and the problems of all the spirits.
Wait. Say that again?
That's my second time saying it.
Oh. I told you I'll be kind of slow.
Since I told them I was doing my job, which was generating light, they felt too guilty and frightened to confront me with any of their blame, and instead heaped all the blame upon themselves.
So when we have children, when you was a child, and you felt like your father or your mother or whoever, we from the 80s, so we come from single parenthood. So I don't know what y'all dealing with now. Y'all have it good now. I don't know know, our kids do this. But when you was a child and you was growing up, and it's like, and you had other siblings, you would feel like sometimes that the parent catered more to one child than the other, and instead of you saying something about it, the child would usually act out. Or they'll be the ones that get into stuff more because they wasn't the ones who was really receiving the most attention. Mm-hmm. I said, and it's neither the parent or the mother's fault. It's guilt's fault. Guys, what we're here teaching you, we're telling you it's not your fault. None of this here, none of it here is your fault. Absolutely none of it. These energies and spirits here are purposely done for a reason. And when we go into the next show, for those who don't know, let me just go ahead and do it again. This is the last strictly explicit truth. Our podcast, Better Minds and Strictly Explicit Truth, is now Open Minds. Spiritual intelligence?
Yeah, spiritual intelligence.
Spiritual intelligence. Don't write it like that. It's Open Minds Podcast.
Yeah.
And under it is Spiritual Intelligence. And there's a reason for that, and you will see in the second half.
The link is in the chat and
9
in
more
the
minutes.
description.
So just bear with me. I'm going to let Empress Trini go ahead and finish. And go ahead.
In their fear, they felt that they were responsible for all the problems, including my absence. They thought my absence was a problem of manifestations, lack of receptivity, and they tried their best to heal it. The rage that wanted to blame me got very seriously denied. The rage that wanted to blame me got very seriously denied. They had my help in taking on this viewpoint because I was projecting the image of myself as perfect and above blame for any problems they were having. Thus, it appeared in their minds that their problems were not my fault, but as a result of their own shortcomings and imperfections. Guilt had them believing that they could only live as I did if they attained perfection, and that to do this, they must always be striving to do better and be better. Always striving.
To do better, to do. Not try. It said strive. Striving is performing and do better.
And if you ever, please don't come around me talking about you done growing. You can't learn no more.
I hate that.
I don't like people that feel like they know everything and they don't have no room to grow for growth.
I disagree. You know what? I like people who know everything. You know why? Because if you know everything, then you have a mind of your own, right? Then that means nothing that is said on television or outside or anything you're going to do, right?
Have you ever experienced that in that type of person?
Yeah.
You know why I don't like it? Because they energy hoggers. And I my energy is important.
I was being sarcastic. I like when they do that because the know-it-alls is always the ones that get along, but you knew it all.
Mm-hmm. Right. Go right behind the follower. You start being the follower, Okay. Will and body received these impressions because I was judging them. I had feelings of superiority.
No, I was just saying judgment. Oh, you said superiority?
Yeah.
That superiority is the way you say. We be bugging, y'all. We be bugging up in there. Sufficient Friday.
Yeah.
Sufferity.
Don't smoke and read. Okay. And of course, deeply hiding underneath feelings of, go ahead, babe. I'm tongue tied right now.
Feelings of inferiority. But why? See, look, I had feelings of superiority and, of course, deeply hidden underneath feelings of inferiority. So, dudes, higher, lower. Higher, lower.
Higher self,
Go
lower
ahead,
self.
get.
Okay, so yeah, I had to throw some jokes in there for y'all. You know, can't keep it too deep so all the time. Okay, so my imbalance was blinding me to what was really happening so thoroughly that what I thought was happening became all there was for me. I couldn't read the signs because I had a need to make everything fit in with what I could accept without bumping up against my limitations. Meanwhile, I didn't think I had any limitations. I was busy thinking that it was will and body that had all the limitations. I was interpreting everything within confines I did not even think I had, while at the same time I was furious with will and body for having limits I saw as holding me back. I could not even stand to feel this long enough to find out that the limitations were due to lack of movement. I ignored it in favor of what felt good to me. What felt good to me was luxuriating and expanding my light into the Godhead, communing with the angels, and generally glorifying myself by reveling in the miracle of my creation. It was a miracle, no question about it, but it had a seamy underside that I didn't want to look at unless I could blame it on someone else.
Oh, let me write that down because I will forget. Keep reading.
Here we go. That blaming on some, not taking accountability. Okay. The seeming underside of creation or lost will then felt all the more like I wasn't interested in it. Lost will took in images of me that it still holds in positions of power on earth. These images were created by the denied blame and rage of will and body, and by the guilt I had that these feelings might not be wrong. I had guilt and fear that the way this rage and blame saw me was not wrong. And it saw me as a self-righteous and hypocritical pig in heaven, gorging himself on abundance that spilled over into decadence, while many of the manifested spirits were doing the equivalent of starving in the streets.
Wow. No, these things happen in real homelessness. Dude, these all things mean homelessness. You can put them in the physical right now. She already explained to you in the body. Panhandling, homelessness, crackheads out in the street. Go on.
They especially hated me when I projected the image that they and all the other spirits could have.
Where you at?
What I had if they all just knew how. Their fury was fueled further by feeling that I was isolating myself in heaven wrongly, and that my happiness and abundance were ill-gotten gains at the expense of others. They felt that they would never have what I had if it had to be gotten in the way that I had done it. The denial they were receiving in place of light was not allowing them to have what I had, no matter how hard they tried. But denying rage meant the harder they tried, the more worthy they felt.
Now, I'm going to let her finish this, and we'll go into the other show because we have to get through this chapter. But the blaming on others instead of facing it head on is something that has been going on and still that goes on already. It goes on in the workplace. It goes on outside, just regular hangouts, movies, nightclubs, churches, shopping, everything, everywhere it happens. And go ahead and finish read those, and we about to fuck you up.
These feelings did not come forward from the mother and the father of manifestation. They went into the lost will because guilt told them they had no right to view me this way, that it was just sour grapes over their own shortcomings, and that blaming me was no less self-righteous and hypocritical than they were accusing me of being.
Ooh.
They had fear of my power over them also, and so they held back their feelings because they could not accept them enough to do otherwise. Will and body already feared I was punishing them by keeping them away from me and out in manifestation, and they feared that anything more from them might cause me to do something even worse to them. They hated me for this, but it did not suffice for a long time in any way that I could recognize as their feelings. They denied their feelings heavenly here and judged them to be unloving. Since the mother and the father of manifestation could no longer come to me on their own, they could only view me from afar and hope that I would come to them.
Listen.
Because of all the feelings involved, they tried not to call on me any more than they had to. They hoped that by healing creation, they could prove themselves to me and heal things with me. Their fear was great, though that they did not have the power to heal it, and that this meant they were unworthy of me. When they did not call on me, I found it convenient to believe it meant that they did not want me around unless they were in a jam. I represented being used this way, and so I often did not hurry to help them when they did call upon me. My reluctance to respond to them increased their impression that they were unworthy of me and that I was no longer interested in them. Denied rage believed that they were doing their best and that I never viewed it as good enough. But their rage was so denied, they thought they had only fear in this area.
Now, this is the end. Before I say what I gotta say, it has been good. We're not leaving YouTube, just leaving Strictly Explicit Truth. It has been good. It has sharing my thoughts with y'all, expressing, how I feel and stuff like that. But I think it's time to open the mind more broadly. Look, no pun intended. But just in terms of information, just make it bigger and give you more stuff, especially the things that we want to talk about, the things that we be reasoning about in the room, like when being like in the nighttime, guys, like when y'all not around and the show is all done, me and her reason, and we be going in deep things, I'm telling you, deep things, So it's been good at Strictly Explicit. Strictly Explicit Truth. It's been good because I've been rapping all day, yo. God damn, yo. See me rapping all day, yo. No, like real rapping. She made a beat and she already spit on it and I was spitting on it. So I was, you have to formulate your words over the mic. You can't, so I had to. But it's been good and Strictly Explicit Truth. But it is transforming into something way better. Dudes and dudettes is, man. Goodbye. We about to start the second half. We about to start. But as we start in the second half, while you saying no, I'm gonna this blaming. Oh, welcome to Open Mindz podcast.
Welcome. It is the beginning.
Yes.
Of many things. It's the beginning of an open mind.
Yes.
It's the beginning of figuring out your spirituality. It's the beginning of learning what's around you. It's the beginning of research. Don't just hear what we saying. Research the shit. Come on now, family. You know how it is. And then that way, when we on it, you on it, and we can politic and conversate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? All like minds.
We're talking spirituality. We're talking healing. We're talking corruption. Real corruption. So they may not like us. They may not like us on here, guys. We've had great master teachers. We're talking corruption. We're talking sacrifice. We're talking bloodlines. We're talking all of it. Energies, self, will. But we're going so deep. If we start off, guys, just listen to me. If we start off with these books or any books, that's only to warm you up.
That's it.
Because after we warm you up, this was just a trailer. This hour right here was just a trailer. So what? After that, we going in. I could do like, Dr. Phil raised us. I could do a 10-hour for real. I ain't there yet. But after that, we're going into something different. Please, guys, we need you to do your own thinking. Don't just run with what we're saying. No. Do your own research. Have your own experiences outside, but carry your book. Right. You know I'm the only dude out in. I'm not going to say I'm the only one in the DMV. But so far as I've seen, I'm the only one in the DMV. Not saying that I am. But so far, I'm the only one. Everybody have cell phone? I had a cell phone, and when I take to work, book. Ona should call me Bookman. Straight book. That's all I. Am I lying? What? Books. Books. I have to read. I can't read from a screen. Them little screens. First of all, they're designed. They're designed by families you will never be hurt. You will never know because you never thought to look them up. You never thought to look these families up.
That's crazy.
All of these denied energies that we've been talking about. Remember when I spoke to y'all about the father warriors and the mother warriors? The father warriors are the main fucking ones who have this world in amok. The father warriors are your same politicians, corrupted left or right wing. There are the main ones that they are in spirit denial because they do not want to face their will. Because if they do, they fear what the people will know, and there will be no shelter or protection for them. That's why they're trying to go to space and NASA, because they want to get the fuck away from Earth. They hate Mother Earth. There's a reason why they call it Mother Earth, because as she just read in the original cause, as I've been telling you, there is the self, which is the father, and the mother, which you call Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the mother. This is the mother's planet. So if you're going to call God, you have to call the mother too. This is hers. And y'all want to go out of space. Once you leave Earth, you leave out of creation. Don't you get that? So their main thing, doing all of this, going to NASA, going to space, having space programs and all of this extra shit, is to leave Earth. But what they don't realize is because they're in their denied will state, they're leaving creation. And once you leave creation, your ass can't come back because you can't survive out of creation. What the fuck you think they've been doing? The Astors, they collect this dude been collecting money from day one. Came to America, broke as shit. You understand? I wish I had the damn phone because I could.
What is it?
Astor, you had it up, right?
I did. You want me to go back to it?
I just
thought
need
you was about to switch over.
I did. Oh, we going to open minds now?
Or you just want to do everything on here?
I can do it here and go, or do they want to? Oh, no. Were you doing already? What were you doing? No, let me know because I will just, we can go over to the other one. We go over to the other one?
Unless you want to just do it on here and then we actually start that
Can we do it on here and then put this on open mind? We can take this video. Okay, guys, this will also be on here and on open minds. So the Astors, if you ever heard of the Waldorf Astoria in New York, Mr. Waldorf, He's one of them as well. Was one of them, but their offsprings, they're still in power to this day. Asher brought up, you know more than me. You know, I'm just touching base until we go in deep on these dummies. But from 1763 to 1884, that's how long he lived.
Yeah. And
John we made fun of Astor's name. We was like, John Jacob Jingle respect. His name is my name too. Whenever they go out, the people always shout, "There's a John Jacob Jingle high respect." Yeah, I don't give a shit about this dude. So,
he was in control of a lot of things,
especially in New York.
And he
go ahead. Listen.
He has a Jewish bloodline. John Jacob Astor,
which they hid.
A-S-T-O-R.
They hid that for some reason. You would think that they're a proud people. Why would you hide that?
And he was born in Germany, so he's not American, but he's one of the top families that control America.
Came to America, because we're going to jump in and out in him. He came to America penniless, but within 3 years, he was a top Mason.
2 to 3 years, yeah.
Whoa, that's cold. You see, 2 to 3 years. That two right there in the middle. That's the important part, because then that means it wasn't 3 years.
No.
Maybe it took 3 years for them to know that he was a master Mason, but it only probably took him 1.5.
Because he
knew, 2 years.
Because he knew the people. So let's see here.
And mind you, these names are the people who control all of the wealth in this fucking earth.
Right. So because this is just one of the families, remember? John Jacob Astor.
Astor. That's what I call
it. And I'm going to give you some background of him and his personality. So the next break came when 2 men who are known now to have been in the Illuminati gave John Jacob Astor a special government privilege. The 2 men were President Jefferson. Hold up, I'm sorry. Let's rewind that. I meant to go into his character. I skipped. Okay, so John Jacob.
Look at his character now.
This is rather interesting.
We're talking about one of the families. Check his character.
This is rather interesting considering Astor could not speak English when he arrived to America. Remember that. When he came, he couldn't speak English. So, and he was supposed to be poor. Remember, he came penniless, right? And joined Mason Lodge and became head top Mason in 2 to 3 years. Remember that. John Jacob Astor was always very famous for being cold-hearted, antisocial, a man who didn't have charm.
Keep on.
Wit or grace.
When I read to y'all about the reptilian children with father warriors, mother warriors, do you know reptiles are cold-blooded? If you look at the personality of a person who is cold-hearted and they are tapping into their reptilian mind. Go on.
Okay, so if this man lacked social graces and was so cold and was so poor during his first years in the U.S., why did he rise to such prominence in Freemasonry? Certainly not because of his social graces. For instance, one time later in life, at a meal given for elites, When his hands got dirty at the table, he reached over and used the shirt of a man beside him to wipe
He
his
took his
hands.
dirty ass hands and wiped it on somebody else's shirt. This is the character of this man. One of the families that controlling everything. Do you see this shit? Go on.
The original financial break came by carrying out a series of shady and crooked real estate deals in New York area.
That's why New York's still crooked to this day.
The next break came when two men, and this was, I just read this to y'all, that was part of the Illuminati, came and gave him some government privileges, right? The two men was President Jefferson and Secretary Gallatin, both Illuminati members. The United States government had placed an embargo on all of U.S. ships from selling with goods in 1807. But Astor got special permission from these two men from his ship to sell with its cargo. His ship sailed and made close to $200,000 profit in a day's money. Astor strangely profited greatly from the War of 1812, which crippled almost all the American shippers.
Do you? Now y'all know about the War of 1812? Well, now you know the face of the man. Now, not the face. You know the name of the man. Now look at that John Coleman. You know there's a Coleman, this Coleman material. This? Oh, sorry. You know the Coleman, they got Coleman material. I bet you that's the same Coleman right there.
Yeah, probably. Astor strangely profited greatly from the War of 1812. Yeah. Astor also worked together with George Clinton, another member of the Illuminati, on land deals. Even at the period in history, British intelligence worked for the Committee of 300 and for the 13 top families. It is interesting then that John Coleman, who had access and as an intelligence agent to secret documents, discovered that the original John Jacob Astor was also a British secret agent.
Now, you need to understand the people you're dealing with here. And as we go through it, Open Mindz podcast, we're going through chapter by chapter. And the reason for this is you guys really need to understand what and who you dealing with. You're talking about people who control opium. You're talking about people who control what else he had? Fur.
A lot.
Fur. The fur industry. He controlled the fur. Probably still do. The family probably still do.
Probably
still
because
do.
it said prior to 1817, he entered into the fur trade and remained the biggest player in the fur trade. No, but he got out of it in 1834, but that don't mean his family did.
That doesn't mean they don't have a... Let me tell you something. You know how these people play? They'll make it seem like someone else owns it. Yeah. They'll put a face to their own shit to assume that someone else has ownership. But all these faces you see are not the people who are in power. You're Jeff Bezos, your presidents, your Fauci's, Coochie's, Anthony Coochie, all of them, your vice presidents, your senator, they are, if it's a face you're seeing, you are not the boss. Just like when you go in a store or a place where you eat, the manager, the person you see in front of your face is not the owner. Because you don't see exact. Think of it like that. America is a corporation that every money that America gets or any money that every country gets is from these elite families. That's what you don't realize. America is in debt to them. Not no China, nothing like that. You really think your Kim Jong-uns and I don't know the president of China. I don't know who but you think them, your Bidens, your Camel, Camel Harris and all them, you think they are the ones that make, no, they just run their mouth. They just run their mouth, and they know that. They know that. They run their mouth. The people behind the scenes is them. They are the ones. Your black pope, your white pope, your gray popes, it's them. It's not these dumbass idiots that want to make it seem like y'all so stupid believing in fear when the people who actually control stuff are scared of you. If you only knew that shit, if you would have known how pussy they are, you wouldn't be acting the way you act. You would address your will, but you got to remember the first half when we was on the Strictly Explicit Truth show, which is no longer Welcome to Open Mindz podcast. We dealt with the denied spirits, the father warriors. We are the goal light spirits. And I never said that on the old show because I wanted to save all of that for here. We are the goal light spirits. You ever asked yourself why these white people who control stuff don't completely eliminate black people? You never stop to ask yourself that question?
Did you?
Because they can't. Because if they do, they won't exist. This is bigger than the human body, which is what the fuck I'm trying to show y'all. And I'm not cursing at you, so forgive me. I am frustrated. What is going on? And you can have it after. What is going on is, I'm tired of using the word design. What is going on now? It's to push the will away and not address your denial. Because if they address it now, like I said earlier, people rise up and they ain't got nowhere to go. That's why every time you find one person or many like us, they think it's only one of us. It's many of us that's doing this. But when they find one out in the forefront, in front of those cameras and really pushing the agenda, they kill him. But as she read earlier, they don't destroy his essence because you can't.
Not at all.
The body dies. They know that. But they also know they can't kill the essence. They know you still there.
They can trap it though.
All right. But I was trying to tell them that with the paranormal and stuff like that's why they thinking, I saw my grandfather the other day. Yeah, dummy. I know why you saw your grandfather lurking around. This is why. They control the world. It's not just America. Your presidents aren't president of shit. And if you want to break it down, presidents of companies, they're only there to make the companies money. They're not there to change a goddamn thing. Presidents don't care about who fucking up at the job. They don't even care about the goddamn employees. Yeah, baby.
Y'all about to hear something. Y'all about to hear everything that this man got his hands in. The Astor family. For a few years, John Jacob Astor had participated in the opium trade. But in 1818, he publicly quit running opium to China. John Coleman, in his good book, The Conspirator Hierarchy, the story of the Committee of 300, made a huge fortune out of the China opium trade. It was the Committee of 300 who chose who would be allowed to participate in the fabulously China opium trade. Through its monopolistic BEIC and the beneficiaries of their largest remain forever wedded to the Committee of 300. Interesting, another top 13 family, the Russells, was also one of the lucky ones to get a slice of the China opium trade. It is clear repeatedly from history that Astor's was privy to inside information in the government and maintained his own courier system.
Look at this shit.
John Jacob Astor bought up large amounts of land in New York, which land greatly increased in value. The financial panic of 1837 allowed him to foreclose on a large number of mortgages. John Jacob Astor's wealth continued to skyrocket. As one biography said, when it came to a question of principle versus profit, Astor was a practical man. Put simply, he had no scruples. Astor had a reputation for being a ruthless landlord. He also had the reputation of not paying his legitimate debts. Astor became
Sound like Trump.
But this is one of the people that is in charge of our country.
Sound like Trump slumlord.
Oh my goodness. Astor became a banker. Oh Lord.
He became a banker. Oh God. It seemed like he ain't good with money. Do you
He good with robbing your ass.
That's what it. But oh, now we get to the point of the fucking show. So in this show, we're gonna have things called points. So when you hit a point, me or her will be like, oh, now we. So this is the first. Oh, so people who aren't good with money are good with robbing. So the people who control this shit are scammers.
Didn't you say something about that earlier?
Yes.
About the denial will?
Yes.
I think we heard something about that. Something like that.
Said it already. You didn't want to hear it.
Okay. So he became a banker and sat on the board of 5 directors of the new national bank that Hamilton created for the U.S. government called the Bank of the United States.
The bank. The U.S. Go on. Go on. Because I was
okay. Astor owned a large block of the stock of the Bank of the U.S.
Excuse me.
Astor also was fairly active during his life as a Freemason, holding several more key positions in the secret lodge life. John Jacob was the richest man in the U.S. Note this reference, Mayer's Gustavus, History of the Great American Fortunes, London, Stationers Hall, 1909, page 147, said, statistics issued in 1844 of manufacturers in the United States showed a total gross.
This dude made $307 million in what was that? The 18th?
Invested,
1909.
No.
That money wasn't even heard of in 1844. Listen, in 1844, that money wasn't even heard of yet.
But for them, it was.
What for them? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. In America, $307 million, over $307 million
invested. So, Astor wealth then was 1/15 of the whole amount invested throughout the territory of the United States. It's having 1/15 of all of what American money is invested, not rich. John Jacob Astor descendants had a penchant for secrecy. A penchant for secrecy.
There's a penchant. We were going to finish because
set up things to rule from behind the scenes. In contrast to some of the other top families, the Astors preferred not to sit on boards of corporations they controlled. In 1890, a real estate.
Why won't you sit on the board that you control? Unless I'm running it behind the scenes, and then
and they wouldn't know.
This is how they came up with the first board of directors and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because your board of directors, from what I learned, because I like to self-teach a lot, I don't believe shit. Board of directors, however many people on the board have a hand in the company, but they ain't the owners. This is what I'm saying.
And they can get fired from their own company.
They're not the owners. You will never see the owners. Or you might have and never know it's them.
Mm-hmm.
You probably walk past Warren Buffett 30 million times, didn't even know it was Warren Buffett. I'm serious. These rich trillionaires, they ride the fucking metro with your ass.
Yeah, I used to ride one, and I knew one. He actually was my boss, but he made bank because it was his company. And he rode the train. And when I say you think he thrift store shopping, clothes wearing, that's what I'm saying. And he had $1 billion. He was making money. You don't know who you walking around with.
And they don't go to work. These people don't go to, you might see them once a year at their company.
Mm-hmm.
Little once a year.
It's so loud.
These men, those my daughters, watch your mouth, be respectful. They can do what they want. I don't play that shit. They don't have to do any. They can ride the train from one end to the other. They can get out and go to any. They can check this out. They can go to any store or coffee shop because they own the whole fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
Don't serve me. I dare you not to serve me. I'll shut down this whole shit. That's exactly how they move.
Yeah.
It's not about what you fail to realize is in the America that you know, or the America that you think you've lived in, you've never lived in that America. You were just young as a child, and as a child, you wasn't exposed to the things that was always around like now, so you never got to experience that. But now that you're here, now this always has been going on.
Uh-huh.
Always. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. You create your own illusions, and if you miss out in the real world, that's on you. In 1890, a real estate expert calculated the Astors owned 1/20th of New York City real estate. Damn. After making their fortune while residing in New York area, the Astors, by and large, have all gone to England. They still wield great financial power in the United States through proxies. Forum magazine, November 1889, commented that authorities estimated the Astors were worth $300,000. But that figure had to be an underestimate.
Oh, it's definitely an estimate. It was because it's definitely more than that.
Today, my estimate of the Astors is that they are worth about $40 billion.
Oh, it's way more than that now.
One of many foundations that the Astors created was the Vincent Astor Foundation, which is controlled. Listen to this. Which is controlled from England by the Astors and has in the range of 100 million tax-exempt dollars. Because they don't have to pay the taxes in the U.S.
Because y'all are so
the Vincent Astor Foundation has typically given to Catholic and Episcopalian needs, among other things. They also give money to agencies opposed to private ownership of guns. They give money to New York's public library. Imagine how much influence that gives them when the library is receiving regular help on a regular for general support. A 1971 foundation directory stated that the Fifth Astor Foundation, Vincent Astor Foundation, had its present emphasis on preventing juvenile delinquency.
Oh, we're getting interesting now.
Why don't I trust the Astors in helping out with law enforcement? The William Waldorf Foundation states that its purpose is promotion of mutual understanding and the diffusion of British Commonwealth.
That's bullshit.
This sounds very similar to the public statement of purpose that the secretive Pilgrim Society has given out to those who need something about them. Assets for this foundation are a mere $64,000. Vincent Astor, now deceased, was a member of 41 private clubs. To give an idea of how much power just one of many Astor men wielded. Some of the business was involved. These are all the businesses.
Please listen to. Oh, you're gonna love this. Go on.
These businesses that Astor is involved with. Director. He was director of American Express Company. He was the director of Atlantic Fruit and Sugar Company. He was the director of Chase Manhattan Bank of the Rockefellers. He was the director of the City and Suburban Homes Company, director of Classical Cinematography Corporation, director of Cuban Dominican Sugar Company,
the Dominican Sugar,
director of Great Northern Railroad, director of the Third Central Railroad, director of Intermercantile Marine Company, director of National Park Bank of New York, director of New York County Trust Company, director of Weekly Publications Inc., director of Western Union Telegraph Trustee New York. He's Zoological Society advisor to Bankers Trust of New York, member American Museum of National History,
members of the National Institute of Society of Science. This motherfucker here, nobody could own nothing in New York. And if you do, you renting. You don't own shit if you think you own. Listen to me very carefully. I am a New Yorker. But one thing I have an issue with about us in New York, we always think we the first to know this, the first to know that. Listen, with the age that we living in now, this digital era we living in now, New York, I'm going to tell you right now, I realize we are not the first to have everything. People are knowing this from all walks of life, all different areas. We are narcissistic. Oh, New York? So we got an ego issue. We have a narcissistic issue. We have an envy issue. We have a jealousy issue. You understand what I'm saying? Because we can't just stand this. And it's not only New York. I'm saying New York because that's where I'm from. It's not only in New York. The DMV is like, the DMV gaslights. They're deliberate, spiteful, rude, disrespectful. Black people out here is just like black people out there and just like black people in other areas. They like to talk shit about the other race, but catch them at their job. When they see them other races, and when they see their own, they rude. You need to make a choice. You gonna be nice to me the same way you nice to him? Because if you rude to me, then you need to be rude to him because that's what equal and balance is. This whole idea and talks of ownership, it sounds good. But what Empress Trini just read, just from New York first, New York will never be able to own anything, at least not us.
You think you do.
We think we own everything. We think we claim hold to. Let me tell you something. That house, there's the law of the sea and the law of the land. That house, the only other person it belongs to other than these elites is the natives, period. And they are even too scared to even cross that fucking line, even though they have been crossing it. Because they already know what they can do. They know what we can do. We are the gold light spirits. We are the ones who keep the vibratory frequency of creation in harmony, keep the balance. The gold light spirits are us, which is why we're so great at music and other things of expression. That's why we're so talented at it. Gold light spirits. We are the gold. This man, where you at?
At the top.
Go ahead. I'll go after you finish that part. Go ahead.
Just like the Rothschilds, DuPonts, and Rockefellers, the Astors always set. Why do you say that every time I say that?
That's how Charles be saying DuPont.
Every time I say that, he say that, y'all. The Astors always set one of their Astor males as the head of the entire family. This kinship is passed down as the birthright within the different branches of the family, just as any king passes on his throne. You was about to say something?
Whoa. Wait. Only the males?
Only the males.
Only the listen. These people that control y'all, y'all LBGT, feminists, masculists, whatever the fuck y'all call yourselves, are hilarious to me because let me tell you something. These people that control stuff, you're not even a thought. You're not even a thought to them. LBGT and all them other organizations is just a smoke screen to keep us distracted when the money is being, because what's his name? Soros is related to one of these fuckers over here anyway. Soros, you're Soros. The problem I have is anytime these racist bastards come up with their organization, it's one of us, particularly the women and the Oreo men, will get with these organizations as if they're caring for you. And when something happens to you, those organizations are not there. Why do you keep doing this? Miss Kamala Harris, anytime is ever since Obama was president, anything that got to do with politics, Howard always in front of it as if they're doing something for you. And as you can see, they did nothing. Congratulations. Next time, stop being so enthusiastic to promote people who are not really the face of this country. They're not the real faces of this country, and they don't control shit. They take orders. People who talk the most are the ones that don't do shit. You should know that from just living in the hood. You should know that from just being around the people you're around. News is full of shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck a Fox News. I can't stand them. Yes, I live in the DMV. I can't stand the damn Fox News. I swear to, they are full of shit. They are full. Oh, they down with the scheme too, but they have to do what somebody tell them to do. They might sit up there all high and mighty as if they ain't got no problems or issues. Let me tell you about them fuckers over there. They are just as much involved with this bullshit as them families over there. Okay, because they are the main ones pushing the fear every single day. Who the fuck you think owns these fucking news? Ted Turner owns CNN, TNT, USA, TBS, Cartoon Network. Ted Turner. And he started off with CNN. Imagine a man who started CNN, 24-hour news, talking about bullshit and fear-mongering. He has one of the, because I watch it, I ain't front. You know, I watch Adult Swim because American Dad, Family Guy come up on there. But he owns that shit. Robot Chicken. He owns Adult Swim. Adult Swim. Adult Swim. The owner of Fox told Seth MacFarlane when they had canceled them the second time, he was like, look, as long as it make us money, I don't care. Do what the fuck you gotta do. I like Family Matters. I like Family Guy just as much as any other person, but there's a lot of offensive shit on there that he be throwing out shit. He don't go as far as South Park, but they trying. Mm-hmm. Fox is trying. Fuck Fox. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say their specific name on Fox News in the morning because you see what What's Her Name did to What's Her Name in court. And as long as I could say What's Her Name and What's Her Name, I don't care because I think What's Her Name that sued her a stink ass evil pussy in the first fucking place. I think I asked wicked any damn way. Y'all all in this illusion that putting on these lips and these eyelashes looking, them fucking women is ugly. I'm sorry. That's not beauty. Them bitches is ugly. I'm saying it. They're ugly. But that's another part of them. All of that is an illusion. Whatever I could keep you distracted with. I told you a long time, I said, ugly is the new pretty. They forcing you to say out of your mouth that someone that is not attractive, that is attractive, all them fuckers is ugly. I'm saying it. You want to start crying and feel bad? Go ahead. You ugly too. I don't got time for that shit. These are wicked people. And what you need to realize is when you are a wicked person, it shows on your face. Makeup can't hide that. When your heart is cold and you're wicked, there's no beauty. There will never be no beauty. I had a joke I made with Empress Trini. I said, it's like all these damn women been focusing on their bodies and they left their face fucked up. Ain't nobody been working out here? You want to work out your ass and your legs and shit? You ain't work this out? That's because the wickedness is showing on your goddamn face. Because men too, because if you're really beautiful, it shows all over.
Your light shine
Beauty is
bright.
Spirit. Say it again.
Your light shine bright.
The light. Beauty is light. Beauty is all over. Beauty is spiritual. Beauty is spiritual, not materialistic. Mm-hmm. So your little dumb female rappers and all your dumb dude rappers that sitting there talking, they're ugly. I'm sorry. I can't fucking formulate a sentence properly. You can't even speak proper English. And you have a bunch of people always sound like you're saying the word pussy. What the fuck are you saying? You're ugly. The wickedness on you shows. And the nigga you with just the same way. But they don't run shit. You see the two couple? You see the two billionaire couple? The two black billionaire couple? Alphabet J, Alphabet B. You see them? They control nothing. They follow orders. When you are a person that follow orders, I can put you in a position that seems like you're in power. Mm-hmm. Because if I was really in power, I would tell the NFL what the fuck I'm doing, and it wouldn't have nothing to do with entertainment. But because y'all niggas, and when I say niggas, I am not talking about black people. I'm talking about the true definition of what nigga is. So y'all dumb niggas in forms of entertainment like to be entertained into your sports. Mm-hmm. What else these dumbasses be watching? Your news.
Reality shows.
I swear I watch news to criticize. She'll tell you. I mean, why the fuck would you wear that? Is there a reason? Every female in the news have to wear something tight and revealing, and the dudes have to be all suited up like they pimps. You never question why. If you just giving me information, why you gotta look like that giving me the information? It's just information. Information shouldn't come with a look.
It's professional.
That's not professional. Because if it was professional, then why the skirt ain't down here and it's up here? And you purposely have to cross your legs. Because if you don't, I could see between your fucking legs. And they're not being sexually harassed at their jobs. But you could sit behind a camera and push lies every day, knowing that when the camera goes off, these nasty, disgusting bastards is filling your ass up. Look what's going on with Dan Snyder. Here's the funny thing about Dan Snyder. Can we get on that? Dan Snyder from the Redskins is nasty ass man feeling him. He said she never took her hand off this middle part right here. There is another man by the name of Dan Snyder that works in Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm. What's up with these Dan Snyders?
What you think he doing with them little girls and them Ariana?
Well, he have a foot fetish, don't he?
He have more than a foot fetish because these men is. What about the other man for Nickelodeon?
And
he's registered as a child offender, and they still have him around kids working.
And was writing scripts just to show the feet and stuff like that on the kids. That is so disgusting.
Guys, these men are allowed to do that from men like him, like these families here. Tuesdays and Wednesdays is when Open Mindz is, and we're going to continue.
We're going to
with this first chapter.
Because y'all have to hear this.
Everything you see is by design. All this infrastructure you see going on is by design. You didn't even ask yourself, who are the realtors? Where they coming from? What is the purpose of the business? You don't care because you're going in there to spend. You so in a rush to spend money that really you don't have. The money that you get from your check is just recycled from everything else here. So nobody is really making any money. It's just shit that's recycled unless you a hustler on this. If you hustling, that's the only way you making real money. Unless you own something, that's the only way you're making real money. Yes, she said, huh? It's my daughter. That's the only way you're making real money. If you don't own anything, here's the problem with these owners. Y'all co-work, man. Y'all employees are so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm saying the word dumb and I'm not using the word naive or ignorant. Because when you do something that you are aware of, you're dumb. These companies, these corporations, these government jobs need what? Workers. They're not going to do that job themselves. They can throw, well, you could be fired or hire somebody else, but what if nobody else want to go back to work? Like now, nobody want to go back to work.
You don't scare them, dummies.
You stick it to, stop being scared to stick it to somebody. They can threaten you, I'll cut your light off, or cut. They really not, because they need somebody to come to work to do it.
Well, they're making robots now, so.
Listen, I always call bluffs with they at. I always call bluffs with they. I said, do it. Them diplomats going down the street, and they want to cut me off, I'll pull up right on their. What the fuck? Are you stupid? Are you stupid or dumb? Do you know what left is? Do you know what right is? You're gonna learn. You're gonna hear me, because if you don't address it, you in denial.
That's right.
It doesn't. You could address it nice, or you could address it how you are.
But you have to address.
But you have to address it. These fuckers are disgusting. She didn't even read you the beginning with boiling the blood. They boil blood. They boil blood.
You have no idea.
Let me explain something to you. I'm going to say this again. If you're not open-minded, if you're not like-minded, if you're not into the metaphysics, if you're not into the deep consciousness, and I'm not talking about consciousness where y'all dudes trying to get females and the females trying to get men. I'm not trying to talk fake card readers, no. Fake crystal, no. Real people, the real ones out there that know. Welcome to Open Minds. This is for you. This is for us. If you are one of those that follow the rules, but you're open-minded, welcome. Everybody else, that's all I got to say about that. But what's going to happen is it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so it'll be back to back.
Right.
So if you don't see Tuesday's show, too bad. Wednesday will be a different show. You'll just have to catch Tuesday on the replay. We're going to talk about, let me tell you, these dudes are not playing, yo. These dudes are disgusting. They're vile. They're nasty. You don't even want to know what they're doing with babies.
And as long as once you know the information, that's your shield. Information is your knowledge, which is also your shield. Be protected.
It is. Guys, I encourage you guys to start studying what spiritual baths are. When you go take a shower, like, learn what that is. Just guys, just that one step. Learn what that is. I'm not doing the homework for you. I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm not, because we're at a digital age and everything is at your hands. You can do this shit yourself. I'm not doing it no more. Learn what those baths are and start you should do it every day. You really should do it every day.
For the spirit, it's for the aura. It actually brightens you up.
Tuesday night. Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be the longest shows. I know we came down about 2 hours here and stuff like that. That's only because we had to do we had to end strictly explicit truth to bring in open minds. And but when we do open minds, I'm just preparing y'all right now because we're gonna go through our extensive research. We're gonna go through extensive topics, and it will get out there.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage all of you to do your comment, put your comments in, put your little 2 cents in, 3 cents, 4 cents. Go ahead and put your comments in. If you know something we don't know, go ahead and put it there. Get it. The purpose is to wake up the spiritual warrior in you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about intellectual. We know everybody has intellectual intelligence, education, you're reading, and you're knowledgeable about stuff. We stopping that now. Now we need the warriors. Wake the fuck up. Get to your gym. Start doing. Come on, man. We got to get right.
That's right.
We got to get right, and it's the only way. And we're gonna beat it into you. You use the force. If you're a Star Wars fan like me, and you metaphysical, then you know what I mean. Yo, all my metaphysical sisters and brothers, use the force.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. And with that being said, do your little
peace out.